Carter High School, with its aging brick facade and flickering fluorescent lights, stood as a testament to decades of wear and tear. Rumors of hauntings circulated among the students, but I always considered them to be products of overactive imaginations. That is, until I took on the role of custodian. My days started early, unlocking the heavy metal doors before sunrise. The echoing emptiness of the halls became my companion as I went about my routine. It wasn't long before I noticed peculiar sounds, a soft shuffling here, a distant murmur there. Rather than attributing these noises to the supernatural, I decided to investigate. The school, once a bustling hub of activity, had seen better days. Leaky pipes and aging heating systems were the likely culprits behind the odd sounds that echoed through the deserted hallways. One persistent noise led me to the outdated ventilation system. A combination of rust and loose fittings caused it to emit a low, rhythmic hum that could easily be mistaken for distant whispers. I tightened the screws and replaced worn-out parts, silencing the eerie murmur that had fueled ghost stories for years. The flickering lights, often associated with paranormal activity, were a result of faulty wiring. A diligent electrician replaced aging components, putting an end to the mysterious light displays that had fueled the rumors of a haunted school. The creaking floorboards, another source of unease, were simply the result of the building's age. Over time, the wood had settled and warped, producing eerie sounds that echoed through the empty corridors. A skilled carpenter mended the creaky spots, bringing an end to the ghostly footsteps that haunted the imaginations of students. One day, as I finished tightening a loose vent cover, an unexpected chill ran down my spine. The atmosphere seemed to shift, and a sensation of being watched settled over me. I glanced around the deserted hallway, expecting to find a logical explanation for my sudden unease, yet the feeling persisted. Over the following weeks, I continued my repairs and maintenance, but an inexplicable sense of being accompanied never left. As I approached the end of my shift one evening, a distant whisper caught my attention. This wasn't the low hum of the ventilation system or the settling of old wood. It was a voice, a soft, melodic murmur that seemed to defy explanation. Curiosity gripped me, and I followed the mysterious sound through the silent halls. The source remained elusive, moving just out of reach as I navigated the labyrinthine corridors. The echoes of hushed conversations and distant laughter surrounded me, leaving me perplexed. Unable to trace the origin of the ethereal whispers, I found myself standing in the center of the deserted school, pondering the possibility that perhaps there was more to the haunting tales than met the eye. The chill returned, and the custodian who had once debunked every ghostly claim was left with an unresolved mystery. A lingering uncertainty that hinted at the unseen forces lingering in the quiet corners of Carter High School. As the custodian who had demystified the hauntings, I couldn't help but wonder if there was a hidden layer to the school's history, one that defied logical explanation. The whispers, untraceable and unexplained, left me with a newfound belief in the possibility that some mysteries, even in the most pragmatic of places, might remain veiled and uncharted. It all started with a bet, a challenge from my friend Alex, who claimed the old abandoned school on Oak Street was haunted. I laughed it off, dismissing the idea of ghosts as pure nonsense. To prove his point, he dared me to spend a night alone inside the decaying building. I, fueled by bravado and eager to win the bet, accepted the challenge. The abandoned school stood silent and imposing, its windows shattered and paint peeling. Armed with a flashlight and a sleeping bag, I entered the darkened halls, determined to debunk the ghostly rumors once and for all. The echoes of my footsteps bounced off the empty corridors as I navigated through the remnants of a forgotten educational institution. The creaking floorboards, the result of years of neglect, contributed to the eerie ambiance that Alex claimed was haunted. Yet, I remained resolute, attributing every strange sound to the dilapidated state of the building. As I settled into the musty classroom I designated as my makeshift campsite, I began to hear peculiar sounds, a distant tapping, and the occasional soft thud. My rational mind dismissed them as the consequences of a building succumbing to time, but doubt started to creep in. I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. The wind outside rattled the windows, casting eerie shadows on the walls. Yet my rational mind fought against the encroaching doubt. In the quiet hours of the night, as I lay there, the atmosphere shifted. Laughter, soft, unmistakable laughter, filled the air. My heart raced, and I strained to decipher the source. Rationalizing, I chalked it up to the echoes of children who once roamed these halls, their laughter lingering in the echoes of the past. The dim light from my flashlight flickered, casting uncertain shadows across the walls. In the corner of the room, a figure, the silhouette of a woman, seemed to materialize. Panic set in, but I attributed it to the play of shadows and the tricks a tired mind can play. As I stared, the figure remained still, a ghostly presence against the decaying backdrop. The laughter continued, soft and haunting. An unspoken fear gripped me, but I clenched my jaw, determined not to give in to the unsettling atmosphere. Morning eventually came, and I emerged from the abandoned school victorious in my silent battle against the supernatural. Alex awaited my return, eager for my debunking of the ghostly rumors. I regaled him with tales of creaky floorboards and drafts, never letting on about the eerie laughter or the shadowy figure that had tested my resolve. To this day, I never told Alex about the strange occurrences, the laughter, the shadow. I kept them locked away, refusing to give credence to the supernatural narrative. Yet, in the quiet moments, when I'm alone with my thoughts, a shiver runs down my spine. The memories of that night, the unexplained laughter, and the mysterious figure in the shadows linger, making me a silent believer in the possibility that, just maybe, the abandoned school on Oak Street held more than the eye could see. When I was 23, I found myself in the quiet town of Ravenswood, working the late-night shift as a custodian for the long-abandoned Ravenswood Elementary School. My responsibilities included cleaning up the decaying classrooms and keeping an eye out for any suspicious activity. The school had been closed for years, and my only companion during those long nights was the echo of my footsteps in the empty hallways. I was entrusted with the task of preparing the school for its impending demolition, a task that required me to venture into the depths of the forgotten past. One chilly Friday evening, as I made my way down to the basement, a place that hadn't seen light in decades, I felt a shiver crawl down my spine. The dim, flickering lights cast eerie shadows on the peeling walls, and the creaking floorboards seemed to echo with the laughter of children long gone. My job was to clear out the remnants of forgotten playthings, relics of a time when the basement was filled with the joyous sounds of innocent laughter. I maneuvered through the narrow corridors, passing by dusty boxes and discarded toys. As I reached the heart of the basement, I heard a soft giggle, a child's laughter echoing through the desolation. I froze, the flashlight in my hand trembling. The laughter persisted, muffled yet unmistakable. Panic gripped me as I frantically searched the corners of the basement. The air was thick with an unspoken presence, a spectral playmate from the past. A plastic toy car rolled across the concrete floor, propelled by unseen hands. I stood in disbelief, my heart pounding. "Who's down here?" I called out. my voice echoing off the cold walls. The laughter ceased, replaced by an unsettling silence. Compelled by an inexplicable force, I approached the storage room, the epicenter of the mysterious occurrences. The air grew colder as I cautiously opened the door. To my horror, I saw nothing but forgotten memories, boxes of dusty decorations, and relics of a bygone era. As I turned to leave, a plastic sound echoed behind me. I felt an invisible gaze upon me, a whisper in the shadows that sent a chill down my spine. Without looking back, I raced up the stairs, the weight of the unseen lingering behind me. In a trembling voice, I called my supervisor, recounting the inexplicable events. "Call the police," he said, his tone grave. The arrival of the officers revealed nothing but an empty basement, devoid of any lingering presence. Haunted by the echoes of a forgotten playmate, I resigned from my job, leaving behind the school and its spectral secrets. To this day, the memory of that night lingers, a chilling reminder that some playmates are never truly forgotten.